Welcome to Tea and Shenanigans. Luke, buckle up. This is gonna be one of those episodes. You ready?
Let's go.
Okay, let's just get straight into it. Well, first of all, thank you to all of you who've been listening. We've definitely seen an increase in views and engagement on YouTube. It's really exciting. We really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying it. If you're not already, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. We're really starting to do more of these on a pretty regular basis with all of this, news that's developing so quickly. We're going to be turning out a lot more of these episodes. But anyway, let's get straight to the meat of this. What on God's green earth is going on at Kensington Palace and this whole Mother's Day photo thing? Have you seen this?
I've heard some about it.
Okay. So everyone was, I wouldn't say shocked, but it, of course, made the news when Kensington Palace released a photo of Catherine, the Princess of Wales, her 3 lovely children on Mother's Day. Well, it's Mother's Day in the UK, not in the US. Side note, why? But we'll get to that in
no clue.
No, it was Mother's Day. And there, she's sitting there surrounded by her children. They're smiling and it's lovely. And she just puts a little note, Happy Mother's Day and all that. And then I would say maybe 20 hours or so later, the AP puts out what's referred to as a kill notice, I think. It has nothing to do with killing anything, YouTube. But it's just, I guess, news reporting speak for
take the
stop
story
using
down.
the photo. And they claim that they believe that the photo had been manipulated by the source, AKA photoshopped. So I was looking at it. I can see I could see what they're talking about. And I started thinking to myself, okay, things are getting really weird. I am not a conspiracy theorist, and all these people out here running around talking about maybe they've gotten a clone, maybe this, that, they're going to get divorced. It's whatever, all this stuff. I don't buy into it. But then they start, the palace starts putting out what is clearly a manipulated photo. What is going on?
But I mean, didn't she put out the statement saying that she just altered the photo?
Well, after that, what really got my attention and what seems strange to me, and look, I know that the 2 of them, that is the Prince and Princess of Wales, there's no way that they might take a photo. There's no way that they're taking their time sitting down, opening up Photoshop and manipulating a photo. I just don't believe for a second that they're really doing that. But I think the Princess of Wales probably took the blame for whoever did it. But yeah, she put out a statement. I saw it on their Instagram page saying, sorry, basically, I'm paraphrasing, sorry for the confusion. Like many other photographers, amateur photographers, whatever. I like to kind of play around with, editing photos and whatever, which, fine. But my thing is, first of all, there's nothing wrong with airbrushing, editing a photo that's going to go out to the entire world. However, I mean, if it's not like materially altering the photo, it's not like it's a fake.
So why was it flagged?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Why is everybody making such a big deal out of this? I think there are nefarious powers at work here. It's starting to look really, I don't know what word to use. It just seems extremely petty, but at the same time, to be fair,
just kind of odd.
I think that the palace, Kensington Palace, is handling this very poorly. It pains me to criticize them because I am generally a great admirer and supporter of the Prince and Princess of Wales, generally speaking. I really admire them. I like them a lot, but this is starting to get really, what's the word I'm looking for? Unprofessional. Kind of, why would you put out an altered photo for the entire world to see? You really thought nobody was going to notice?
I mean, my first assumption would just be that they did a photo in an informal setting, so without hiring a professional photography team to come in and spend however many hours taking pictures with the children. I mean, sounds like that she just got one of her aides to just take a picture, and then they went in and did some, alterations to make it look a little nicer.
Oh no, I get it. I've heard people say it's probably just the result of trying to get 3 kids to be still and
exactly.
Smile. I get that. I totally do. But my point is, if you're going to do that, give the heads up to the media so they don't do what they just did. At the same time,
I didn't know you had to do that.
I don't know. I'm not saying that that you have to, but considering the atmosphere surrounding them right now, all of this secrecy and keeping things close to the chest and the rumor mills and the conspiracies and all the rest of it, just be as forthright as possible on these things. It's not like we're asking for a detailed update on her health, because that would clearly be an invasion of privacy. But I know what I was going to say. It's that after the AP issued that, stop issuing notice, I'm not going to use the K word because this is YouTube and they're annoying, but not our listeners, just YouTube itself and their
algorithm,
whatever it is. But after that happened, Kensington Palace didn't respond to, they didn't say anything. They didn't clarify. There was all this time of just radio silence over the thing. And so everyone just, again, as we talked about in our last episode, just starts going crazy. And the thing is, that's going to happen. As soon as you hear that the photo's been basically pulled, they should have gone, okay, let's just give a quick little explanation. It's not a big deal. This is what happened. And, kind of like nip it in the bud. No, they just let it go. They let people start coming up with all kinds of crazy conspiracies. And then post the thing on I think it was originally the Instagram account.
How long a period of time are we talking about here?
I think it was an entire day or more. It was long enough that people, okay, look, we live in a world of a 24-hour news cycle.
Yes,
every
I'm aware.
Minute counts and stuff like this.
But still, a day and everyone goes insane.
I know it is, but like I'm saying, in this world, I'm not saying it's right, but that's how it works. And they should know that, and be prepared for it. I don't know. I'm just starting to kind of I'm almost irritated on their behalf, if that makes sense, because there's been a lot of just kind of, I don't know. I would have handled it differently. This whole situation.
You can't stop the media from speculating.
No.
Anytime they're given an opening that will get them people's attention, they're going to use it.
But my point is, the way that they're handling these things, it's fueling the speculation and the conspiracies and all the nonsense. It is. I'm sorry. When you're vague and kind of, I don't know, tight-lipped. And again, I'm not saying that we need details on her health or whatever. It's just, I don't know. It's just starting to look a little poorly coordinated. I don't know who's handling the PR. I don't know, as some people say, is it, the men in gray suits, whoever it is, that's their job. And as I say, I don't like criticizing them, because I really like them. I admire the work that they do. And I think that a lot of this is just, it's overdone, and they need their privacy, but they're the ones that put out the photo and then didn't respond or say anything when everything went crazy. And I don't know. It's just kind of, come on. Don't do that.
It really sounds to me like the media is just looking for things now. I
think you're definitely right about that. And they need to be clued, they meaning Kensington Palace and the powers that be, they need to be clued into that fact. I think it's becoming more and more apparent to me that there are a lot of people in the media and whatever that are really out to get them for whatever reason. And I think they need to be, I'm sure they're aware of that. I'm not saying they don't know. Of course they know, but really be on their A game when handling stuff like this. And it's funny, speaking of A game and someone or people that don't have it, there were supporters of the gruesome twosome who, after this happened, they're like,
real quick, I would just counter that slightly with that. I don't, to some degree, if there are things you're not really wanting to share, you might not be too aggressive with your defense of everything that people are saying when there's uncertainty, because then I don't know, like I'm saying, it would seem defensive. This way, they can, speculate as much as they want, but they're kind of taking the position that it's not important because it's not affecting anything of significance.
Yeah, see, that probably is what they're thinking. I'm just saying from my perspective and what it looks like on this, in the cheap seats on this side, it's kind of like, what is really going on over there? Like, what are y'all really doing?
That's what the media wants you to do.
I know, but it's so, anyway, I'm just starting to get a little irritated. But anyways, I'm even more irritated because as I was about to say, some of these supporters of the gruesome twosome, and everyone knows who I mean when I say that, they've said things like, there was an article, where was it? Page 6, sources close to you-know-who and you-know-who said, quote, "This isn't a mistake Meghan would ever make." Okay. And so what? Okay. First of all, my take on that is the fact that they released, that is Kensington Palace released this photo that ended up being spotted for editing almost immediately. That kind of goes to their, I don't want to say amateurishness, but like it's clearly not something that they do on the regular. It doesn't seem like to me. And so it's not like they're trying to deceive. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So there's
it wasn't a professional cover-up job.
Exactly. And I'm not saying anything of the others, but like there have been some photos that are clearly airbrushed, clearly. And to be fair, that's totally normal in Hollywood. And when you're in the media, like the spotlight, like that's very common. People do that all the time. I don't see why I don't care if they do that. Everybody does that in Hollywood.
The thing that's more interesting to me about this is that they felt the need to issue that statement.
Isn't it funny? Oh my gosh.
Oh, like I was saying about trying to kind of be a little above all the speculation. Mm-hmm. This is the opposite of that.
When
you're like reaching out to grab people and be like, I wouldn't do this. I'm so much better.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was going to say, reading page 6, I was like, oh my gosh, you can tell that, Missy over there is probably seething at the fact that the entire world is focused on her arch nemesis across the pond. She probably can't stand it. Can you imagine? I guarantee you, because I think, any attention to her is good, whether it's technically negative or not. And for a while, the news cycle is not focused on her. I guarantee you she can't stand it. But anyway,
I don't know anything
that's just
about
my opinion.
The emotions behind it. I just know that feeling the need to issue a statement that's that petty.
Oh yeah, but just the thing of it is though,
too much.
Every single time we can go back and do an episode like documenting this. It could take a while to pull up all the sources, but I can tell you right now, every single time that specifically the Princess of Wales is in the news for anything, the other one in Montecito will pop up, will do something like almost immediately, if not right before, right, like concurrently. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, it's like this weird competition thing. I don't know. I think it's crazy. But
it could
anyway.
also be sort of like, this is going to sound kind of weird. It could be kind of like coasting off of their media attention. It's like if you're already covering a story about the one who, more people pay attention to, mm-hmm. if you, pop up and do something else, news services might cover both just because they're related.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think
and
you're right about that.
And you can get into the same news cycle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Get more clicks.
And that's what life's about, isn't it? All the clicks. Who am I to talk? We're sitting here making content like that. Come on.
Well, yes. But I'm just saying it's a strategy that they could be using to, boost their coverage.
And there's a lot of people that rag on the Sussexes for that. At the same time, like, and I as I say, I don't care for either one of them. I think there's been a lot of negative. They've done a lot of really messed up things. I don't like them at all. At the same time, some of the criticism of them and their PR and the trying to get attention, like in the world in which they live, that's what you have to do to survive, to make money, to get deal. Like, of course, that's what they're going to do. They left the royal family to go to Hollywood to, schlep it. So Of course, that's what they're going to do. So I don't really knock them for that. Like that's, if you want to get the deals and make the money, you have to stay relevant. You have to stay in the news. And so they're just going to do whatever they have to do to get that done. I'm not saying that it's the most elegant solution, but
perhaps
it's not always the smartest, but it's what people in Hollywood do. So just chill.
Perhaps we could have made some classier choices.
Classy with a K. That's right. Because I've heard people joke about she likes that classy. King Charles?
Yeah. He sent a message like yesterday, which is the 11th of March. For the Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth.
So he couldn't attend.
Right.
But he sent a video message and they were talking about it. He's still like taking his regular cancer treatment, which is believed to be
chemotherapy, probably, very likely.
Did not lose hair.
I noticed that. I saw a photo.
Thinner, but his hands looked the same.
Yeah. Well, they say he had sausage fingers. He's even joked about that.
But
poor guy.
He was just like wishing them all the best, and he was trying to do his best of his ability, whatever. But he apologized that he will not be attending.
Yeah. That's a good.
It's the 75th. Anniversary.
Yeah, that's a good transition. Today is Monday the 11th. We're recording this. Yesterday was Sunday, and it was the Commonwealth celebration, whatever it was, and it was attended by Queen Camilla, Prince William, and I think some other members of the family, but those were the two headliners. And I saw an article that apparently I didn't see any accompanying photo. I guess we're just going by word of mouth or whoever claims they saw before when William left for the event. Apparently, Princess Catherine was cited. I don't know the details of it because I clicked on the story. It was one of those ones where you had to like subscribe or pay, and I ain't doing that. So I just read part of it. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But I don't know if that's just like, rumors or whatever. The source, I believe, was a decent one, but who knows? That's going to be another thing. But she didn't go to the event.
75 years ago, so that means 1931 when the Commonwealth was
established.
Well,
right? Crazy.
So before World War II.
Yeah, before World War II, the Commonwealth of Nations was established. It's a really interesting concept. We need to do an episode on that sometime.
Yeah. We could do it
on the podcast.
In an episode about George VI.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to do that. He's an interesting cat
or
too.
Or his father. George V and kind of the lead up to it.
Yeah, I like that.
Or both of them. It could be a joint episode.
Yes. Okay.
Or a 2-part.
Switching gears a little bit. And of course, we never can seem to have one of these episodes without talking about the Ginger Whinger, Prince Harry. This is interesting because it's a legal thing. So I'm interested in it. Back a few days ago, March the 7th. So a little background. The Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative think tank in Washington, D.C., has basically gone to court to insist that Prince Harry's immigration application, etc., be made public, be released, because of the fact that in his memoir, Wah, also known as Spare, he details his extensive drug use, hard drugs. He talks about it in sort of I remember he did an interview and he talks about it in like a positive light. I think he was talking about at one point doing psychedelics or something and how it was so helpful to his mental health and all this stuff. It was just
a very fashionable thing to talk about now.
It's so tacky in my opinion, but whatever. So because of that, they're like, hey, so did he disclose all of this when he applied for his whatever his visa status is, because in the US, that's something that you have to disclose, drug use. And it is definitely grounds for refusal, for removal, etc., being denied entry and all the rest of it. And if he didn't disclose it, first of all, he then, of course, lied on his official application. If he did disclose it, was he given preferential special treatment? Which I'm voting for that personally.
I mean, that would be my guess. I mean, he put it in the book, so he almost definitely, or his lawyers disclosed it.
Or he's just so arrogant and thinks I can do whatever I want because no one's going to, turn me down. I'm a prince. Of course they're going to let, typical of that one.
I don't dispute that.
Exactly. So it's been in the the court system for a little, not a super long period of time, but it's the Heritage Foundation versus essentially DHS or the Department of Homeland Security. And a few days ago, the judge ordered that the papers basically be handed over. So there's a date for their, when they have to hand it over. I'm not sure when. It's fairly soon. But
and they haven't appealed it?
I'm sure they will. Or wait a minute. Judge Carl Nichols asked officials to hand over the document, saying their privacy argument, which was what DHS was saying. It's privacy. We want privacy. A la South Park.
It is.
Well, yeah, but he said that the argument was insufficiently detailed and they have to hand it over. So,
what use do they plan to put these papers to?
Well, they want to know, did he tell the truth about his drug use or did he lie about it? If he lied about it, he needs to be gone, deported. If he told the truth, what was the explanation? What was the foundation for allowing him entry when in the past other people have been denied entry for doing the same things? Actually, somewhat famously, that I love to watch Nigella Lawson, the British cook. Mm-hmm. I love her. But apparently, at one point, she had a visa application because she's been over here for work and whatever. I think she lived over here briefly at one point, but
that would make sense.
She famously was turned away one time because she disclosed like some drug usage way back in her past or something, and she was honest about it. And they were like, "Yeah, no, you can't come in." And she's a famous, well-to-do person, and they said no. So if Harry, did the same thing and they still let him in, it's like, oh, okay, what's that about? That is called corruption. But yeah, so that's where he's at with that. This dude just can't win with all this legal stuff. First it was the security and the home office. Oh. Now it's immigration in the US, and he's still dealing. Well, I think he might have finally come to an end with his legal battle against what's that media group in the UK? Is it the Mirror Group?
The Mirror.
That might be it. But anyway, and all the phone hacking and all that stuff. But it's just been one thing after another. And he's not.
I mean, he's so not far the ones that he's lost have been ones that were brought on by him.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It doesn't seem like some of these things he's bringing on himself.
I know. Anyways, it's wild. You had mentioned before we got on here, we could talk a little bit. I mean, it's just a little, it's not exactly royal news, but was it today officially Sweden has joined NATO?
Oh, I don't know if it was today, but I had just been hearing about their application over the last couple of weeks.
Well, they have officially joined. I saw a photo with a bunch of the people involved, and one of them I saw in the front was Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden, who's the heir to the throne. So I thought that was really interesting because I don't remember the last time that NATO added a new member. Do you know?
Didn't they recently add, who was it? Finland?
You might be right. Or maybe they were talking about it.
There have been a lot of applications over the last couple of years.
You want to know why?
Because everyone's afraid of Russia. Again.
I know. That whole thing is such a mess. I feel so bad for all of those people. The fact that they feel so threatened by it that they're like, well, take us in. You know what I mean? Crazy. Yeah. Our producer is on this day in history, the 11th of March, 1708, Queen Anne of Great Britain effectively vetoes the Scottish militia bill by not giving her assent. It is the last bill refused by royal assent. That's interesting. Do you know anything about that, Luke?
Aside from that part, that it was the last one that was ever refused. I mean, after that, everything was just, yes. If you voted on it and decided yes, we say yes too. I mean, because, she was the last of the Stuart monarchs, and after her, it was all of the Hanoverians. So, for a little while, they were, the foreigners who were the kings. So they wanted to stay as, in with the government as possible.
Okay, that makes sense. All things considered,
of any independent royal power.
Yeah. Well, that tends to be what has happened.
Oh, we should do an episode on Queen Anne too. She's interesting.
On the podcast.
Yes. The official podcast.
Well, it's been kind of a short teen shenanigans, but that's just what's going on in the news right now. It's the manipulated photo and Prince Harry's immigrant. I'm sure there's other things, but those are the big dominating things. I just thought we should get on here and give our opinion. Just why not?
And Sweden. A family, a country with a royal family joined NATO.
Yeah, that's right. That is true. Okay, well, is that enough gossip for today?
I think so.
Fabulous, wonderful. Well, thanks for listening. Hope you join us again next time. If you're not already, subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, all of the things. Just do all of the things. You won't regret it. I don't think anyway. We hope not. But if you're not already, check out our podcast, Royal Chronicles Podcast. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, and we're also posting, generally speaking, we're posting most of the episodes here on YouTube as well. But thanks for joining. Leave us a comment. Oh, side note, we got one of our first, I'm so excited about this. We got one of our first sugars in the comment. Do you know what that means?
No idea.
They are Harry and Meghan supporters. They generally have like room temperature IQ and don't spell or form sentences very well, but it's super entertaining. Thank you to whoever it is, because by commenting and all that, you're like driving the engagement on the videos. I love it. It's great. And I don't mind fighting. I'll fight a little bit. I mean, that's just that I do, I'm supposed to do that for a living. So whatever. But
what was about the New York?
Yeah, the comment that I made in the last video about the near catastrophic car chase. And the person was like, I'm going to paraphrase something like, the New York, the police department, NYPD said that it really happened. And okay, what happened and what everyone acknowledged happened was that journalists, paparazzi followed them around. What did not happen, and no one has said happened, was that it was 80 miles an hour for chase. 2 hours, near catastrophic, blah, blah, blah. No one has confirmed that. Furthermore, the mayor of the city, Eric Adams, has said he finds it highly unlikely that happened.
Which is what we said.
Exactly.
We find it highly unlikely.
Because it did not happen.
I mean, maybe in 2021 when the streets were empty.
You make a good point.
But it didn't happen then.
Yeah. So, no, my point is, we got some Megsy people, some haters. I love it. It's great because they can't resist. They can't contain themselves. They'll leave comments, but that drives up the engagement and gets our content out there. So I'm all for it.
Let's say if it happens, that's not good. You don't want to lose another one for like how his mom.
Well, no. I remember when I first saw the headline and my first thought was, gosh, I don't like them, but wow, that's terrible. Like, I really hope that's not true. And then as time went on, it was like, okay, it's not real. Of course it's not real because nothing they do or say is honest. Anyway, I was about to wrap this up. I didn't mean to go off on a rabbit trail. Okay. Thanks for listening. Really appreciate it. Leave us comments, whether it's supportive or not. Either way, it's great. Love to hear your opinions. Unless it's really nasty, then you delete, blocked, and we move on with our lives. But for the most part, thanks for listening.
I would prefer positive comments.
I know that's your thing.
Do what you have to do.
There's a lot of issues in the world. Let's stay positive.
We try to. We really do. Okay, but that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Like, share, subscribe, all the things. We'll talk to you next time with gossip from all corners of the royal globe.
Y'all have a great day. Bye.